I think it could be really good news for anybody that's into Dodge. I think he was terrible for our brand, and he was making really silly decisions. With that being said, so long, Carlos!
Rhythm is a dancer, it's a soul's companion. You can feel it everywhere.
Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
It's a passion. You can feel it, yeah. It's a passion.
All right, guys, so welcome back. Thank you for hanging out, spending a few moments here with me. If you're new, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Now, the big news in the Dodge world is Carlos Tavares is history. At least it's shaking things up. Now, how will it affect Dodge? We're going to discuss that, and there's some things to actually start getting a little bit excited about. Now, ever since Stellantis has taken over Dodge, Carlos Tavares, the CEO, has been making some terrible decisions that has resulted in sales plummeting, models sitting on the showroom floors forever, years. I believe you could still get a 2023 brand new Charger or Challenger, and just the overall decision making has really left everybody thinking he just doesn't understand the United States market and what the consumers want. And you could see, obviously, with the future of the 2025 lineup, the EVs and the inline sixes and the Hornet, and pretty much every decision has been just a disaster. But I want to give a YouTuber that I gave a shout out to in the last video, and that's TK's Garage. About 2 or 3 months ago, he was actually posting about how Carlos Tavares was going to get pressured into either resigning, getting fired.
When the world's on fire, when the sun burns cold, we're building something unbreakable. From the highest highs to the lowest.
And here we are today, fast forward 2 months or 3 months later, and now Tarvares is gone. His insider info is about 2 or 3 months delayed. So obviously when he posts a video, a lot of people are very skeptical. And then you fast forward 2 or 3 months and things start panning out in a general way that he is saying. So, you know, big ups to TK's Garage. And the next thing that he's calling for is a next generation V8.
Shells, those rolling shells, were sent with a transmission, just no power plant, right? The only thing missing is the engine. Well, according to the sources in Mexico, they are fitting both of these cars out, one with a previously unnamed V8. It is not a Hemi. Barter the Insider has talked about this V8 engine in details for 18 months. It's evidently a dual overhead cam V8. I don't know how it's constructed. I don't know if this is the Magnum V8 that we've seen in documents or not. And the other one is the tried and true push rod 5.7 liter V8 that they are shoehorning into this Dodge Charger Daytona. They're putting both of them in there for testing. And I guess they're doing it in Mexico because they know if they do it in Detroit or Canada, somebody's going to tell. Well, evidently, their logic for sending it to Mexico to do it didn't work because they still told.
Potentially a dual overhead cam, which I think is fine. I mean, that's in the Mustang GT. It puts out quite a bit of power, and especially if you add some kind of forced air on that, you could have a smaller displacement, forced air, and you're making a ton of power. Anybody that's into these Mustang GTs with the 5.0, you know you could pretty much slap a Pro Charger on there, upgrade the fueling, and you're making, 800 wheel horsepower pretty easily without upgrading the internals and everything. So it's actually, if done correctly, it could be a phenomenal engine, and it would probably slip right into the new Charger shell, whether that's a 2-door or a 4-door. I think it'll be a much better idea than them, just relying on the EV and the inline six. They might actually keep the 5.7 Hemi around. And I'm a big fan of the 5.7. I think it's been a reliable Hemi. It's been unbelievable in all makes and models. And regardless of the horsepower rating, a lot of people really dog the 5.7. and it's unnecessary because it is a blast to own. It sounds great. It drives great. It's a torque monster. Speculation on the block is they're creating a new V8 along with the 5.7 Hemi, and then you'll have the inline 6 as a step below those trim levels. So I find it really all interesting. The only thing that I'm thinking of is how they're going to be situating the trim levels. I mean, because a Scat Pack is now attached to the EVs, the RT is attached to the EV, and so we're going to see how this all kind of plays out. Now, there's a question that I wanted to answer, and that is a handful of people are like, why do you make videos inside your car? Well, number one is the sound quality is much better than if I were to do it in my office. Number two, I have pretty much a stay-at-home job, and so I find myself constantly with a 4-year-old and a 10-year-old, and the two of them are constantly fighting. And so I've found years ago that it was just easier to slip out into my car, make a video that's, 5 to 10 minutes long without getting interrupted. And the sound quality is good. So I kind of remove myself from the situation, and I have a really good little studio here, and it's car related. So why not? Either way, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think of Carlos Tavares kind of getting the boot? I think it could be really good news for anybody that's into Dodge. I think he was terrible for our brand, and he was making really silly decisions. So with that being said, so long, Carlos!
Freedom is a dancer, it's a soul's companion. You can feel it everywhere. Lift your hands and voices, free your mind and join us. You can feel it in the air. Oh, it's a passion. Oh, you can feel it, yeah. Oh, it's a passion. You can feel it, you can feel it.